If we could journey back in time, far beyond the reach of written records, we would find ourselves on the sun-drenched plains of Africa. It is here, amidst the rustling savanna grasses and ancient baobab trees, that the incredible story of humanity begins. The science is wonderfully clear on this point. Every single person alive on the planet today, from the bustling streets of Tokyo to the quiet fjords of Norway, is a descendant of a small group of early modern humans who lived in Africa. This is not a matter of opinion, but a profound truth written into the very fabric of our being, in our DNA. We are, in the most literal sense, one large and sprawling family. This shared ancestry is one of the most remarkable discoveries of our age. For centuries, we have focused on our differences, creating stories and societies based on what separates us. Yet, beneath the surface of our varied cultures and appearances, a unifying thread connects us all. Geneticists, like patient archaeologists of the human body, have traced our lineage back through countless generations. They have followed the markers in our genes, creating a map that leads every branch of the human tree back to a single, common trunk, rooted firmly in African soil. It's a humbling and rather beautiful realization. Imagine looking at a vast, ancient tree. Its branches spread in every direction, reaching for the sky, adorned with leaves of different shapes and colors. One might be tempted to see each branch as a separate entity, distinct and unconnected. But if you follow those branches downwards, you will find they all spring from the same sturdy trunk, drawing life from the same source. This is the story of us. Our species, Homo sapiens, did not appear simultaneously in different parts of the world. We arose once, in one place, and that place was the continent of Africa. This concept fundamentally changes how we might view ourselves and our neighbors. It dismantles the old, misguided ideas of separate races and reminds us of a deeper, more powerful connection. The history of every person on Earth begins on that continent. Whether your ancestors were Vikings, Roman senators, or samurai warriors, if you trace their journey back far enough, the path will invariably lead you to Africa. We are all, in essence, African. This is the starting point of our collective human story, a tale of survival, innovation, and an incredible journey that would eventually see us populate the entire globe. Our story did not remain confined to Africa. Spurred on by a changing climate, a search for new resources, or perhaps simple human curiosity, small groups of our ancestors began to venture out. This was not a single grand exodus, but a series of slow and tentative movements that unfolded over many thousands of years. Around 60,000 to 70,000 years ago, these pioneering bands of hunter-gatherers started to walk out of Africa, likely crossing from the northeast into the Arabian Peninsula. From this crucial starting point, the greatest journey in the history of life on Earth began, a gradual expansion that would take our species to every corner of the planet. These early travelers were not equipped with maps or compasses. They followed coastlines, chased migrating herds, and moved from one fertile valley to the next. Generation by generation, they pushed into new territories. Some groups moved eastward, eventually reaching the lands we now know as India, Southeast Asia, and, incredibly, crossing the sea on simple rafts to populate Australia. Others turned north and west, venturing into the vast cold landscapes of Europe and Central Asia. It was a slow, painstaking process, an epic of endurance against unimaginable odds, driven by the same instinct for survival and exploration that defines us today. Think of it as a series of ripples spreading across a pond from a single stone dropped in the water. The first ripple was the move out of Africa. Each subsequent ripple represented a new wave of human settlement, pushing the boundaries of the known world a little further. These were small, family-based groups, perhaps only a few dozen strong, but their cumulative effect was monumental. Over tens of thousands of years, they adapted to mountains, deserts, and frozen tundras, proving the astonishing resilience of our species. The final Great Migration saw humans cross the Bering Land Bridge from Asia into the Americas, completing our colonization of every habitable continent. This journey is a testament to human ingenuity. These ancestors of ours were not aimless wanderers. They were skilled observers of the natural world. They learned which plants were safe to eat, how to track animals, and how to make sophisticated tools from stone, bone, and wood. They carried with them not just their physical genes, but also the seeds of culture, language, art, and social cooperation. Every step into a new land was a step into the unknown, a challenge met with courage and innovation. The incredible diversity of human cultures we see today is a direct result of this great, sprawling journey that began with a few brave steps out of our African homeland. As our ancestors spread across the globe, they encountered a vast array of new environments, each with its own unique challenges and conditions. One of the most significant factors they faced was the varying intensity of sunlight. This is the key to understanding one of the most visible, yet most superficial, of human differences: the color of our skin. Our original African ancestors, living under the intense equatorial sun, had dark skin. This was not a coincidence, but a vital evolutionary adaptation. High levels of the pigment melanin provided crucial protection from the sun's harmful ultraviolet radiation, preventing skin damage and folate depletion. However, as groups of humans migrated north and south into regions with less direct sunlight, this advantage became a liability. In places like northern Europe and Asia, the sun is weaker and cloud cover is more frequent. Here, the body needs to absorb as much UV light as possible to produce vitamin D, which is essential for healthy bones and a functioning immune system. Dark skin, so protective in the tropics, blocked too much of the scarce sunlight. Over many thousands of years, natural selection favored individuals with lighter skin who could produce vitamin D more efficiently. Skin color, therefore, is simply a beautiful and practical example of our bodies adapting to the local climate. This process of adaptation did not stop with skin color. Other physical traits also evolved in response to different environmental pressures. For instance, people living in cold, dry climates, such as those in Central Asia or the Arctic, often evolved narrower nasal passages. This feature helps to warm and moisten the cold, dry air before it reaches the sensitive lungs, making breathing more comfortable and efficient. Conversely, in hot, humid climates, broader nasal passages are more common. These are not markers of separate origins, but rather elegant solutions engineered by evolution to help humans thrive in diverse settings around the world. It is crucial to understand that these physical variations are, in genetic terms, incredibly minor. The traits we often use to categorize people, skin color, eye shape, hair texture, are controlled by a tiny handful of genes out of the roughly 20,000 that make up the human genome. Beneath this thin veneer of physical difference, we are all astonishingly similar. Two people from opposite ends of the Earth share about 99.9% of their DNA. Our outward appearances are simply the fascinating living record of our ancestors' long and varied journey across the planet, a story of adaptation written on the human body itself. Long before the rise of Greece and Rome, magnificent civilizations flourished across the African continent, leaving behind a legacy that has shaped our world in countless ways. Too often, this rich history is overlooked, but its influence is undeniable. One of the most famous of these is ancient Egypt, which arose along the fertile banks of the River Nile. For nearly 3,000 years, the Egyptians pioneered developments in mathematics, engineering, and medicine. Their monumental pyramids and temples stand today as breathtaking feats of architectural genius, while their system of writing, hieroglyphics, was one of the earliest in human history. Yet Egypt was not alone. Further south, along the same life-giving Nile, lay the powerful kingdom of Kush, in what is now modern-day Sudan. The Kushites were masters of ironworking, a technology that gave them great military and economic power. They built their own pyramids, traded extensively with Egypt and the Mediterranean world, and for a time, even ruled as the pharaohs of Egypt. Their cities, like Meroe, were bustling centers of industry and culture. The achievements of Kush demonstrate that advanced civilization was not confined to one part of the continent, but was a widespread phenomenon. Beyond the Nile Valley, other great societies left their mark. In West Africa, the Nok culture, one of the earliest known producers of life-sized terracotta sculptures in sub-Saharan Africa, laid the foundations for later empires. In the Horn of Africa, the Kingdom of Aksum grew wealthy by controlling trade routes between the Roman Empire and ancient India. They developed their own unique script and were one of the first empires in the world to officially adopt Christianity. These civilizations were hubs of innovation, art, and complex social organization, contributing deeply to the human story. Understanding this shared history is more important now than ever. It reminds us that our human story is not one of separate peoples, but a single, interconnected narrative that begins in Africa. It teaches us that genius, creativity, and civilization have blossomed in all parts of the world. By embracing our common origin and celebrating the diverse achievements of our ancestors, we can build a more unified and compassionate future. Our roots are intertwined, drawing from the same ancient African soil. Recognizing this simple, powerful truth is the first step toward appreciating the wonderful tapestry of humanity in all its forms.